So thank you to be here. I'm happy too. Uh, where is Schwaz-Brixlegg mining district? It's in Tyrol, uh, Germany to the north, Italy to the south. And here is Schwaz-Brixlegg. My home is Steyr, actually summer, nice temperatures. But let's talk about Schwaz. Geology is interesting. Most of the mining district, the most important part, is laying in the Schwarz dolomite and some also in Trias limestone. Between Schwaz and Brixlegg, you see the famous Tiller Valley. In Tiller Valley, you have to the south the famous alpine minerals, but no ore mining. In Brixlegg, we have a nice mining museum about history, mining, and metallurgy. An old district dating back up to nearly 5,000 years old. And even the footprint of the old miners was found in limestone center. The first discovery of the ore was in 1409. The first important miner was Archduke Sigismund. He was called the Rich in Coins. He leases the mine. He opened a mint, but he also was a spendthrift, had many wars, also with Venice, and was excommunicated by the Pope, and he had to resign. He was not too popular. But during his release, he made the first edit. The stairs and the walls are dating back to his time, more than 500 years old. The next one was Jakob Fugger the Rich. He was a merchant from Augsburg, and he had a copper monopole with a Slovakian miner named Turzo. So copper prices were pretty high during that time. In 1508, Maximilian I was Emperor of Austria, and Jakob Fugger has been funding the election. He gave money for it. And the thank of the emperor was the mining rights in Schwaz-Brixlegg. Funding, up to now, there are 140 apartments in Augsburg. They still exist. Actually, the annual rent is 88 cents. Only 88 euro cents. And I must promise to have some prayers for Mr. Fugger. That's all. For poor families only, of course, but the people have to be honest. An old map of the 16th century. You see the old mining adit, like a cheese, hole on hole, Schwarz in the foreground. And in 1523, the production was more than 15 tons of silver. This has been 3/3 of the world production, the richest silver mine during that time. When the silver mines had not so many success on the end of the 16th century, They wrote a mining book, very famous, the Schwarz mining book. In the same year, Georg Agricola wrote the famous De Re Metallica. The mining book on Schwarz has been something like public relations for investors, but no investors were found, and so the emperor took over the mining. You see the wonderful old drawings with miners, with the clothing of the miners, and much more. Everything is mentioned in the book. I love it. And I still have a modern copy of it, a reprint. Today, Schwaz is a tourist mine. You still can see the copper veins. Some museum samples from the Natural History Museum of in Vienna. Wonderful things. Aragonite blue in France Museum in Strasbourg. Pretty malachite, famous for it. Yes, this was museum, now my banks. An old sample and a very new one. This was found 2 years ago by a dear friend of mine. Typical minerals, no micromounts up to now, but they're still coming. Celestite, very rare in Schwarz. Yeah, here is the Falkenstein, the mining district. And the upper part, you see the old holes and a massive rock slide. The rock slide has been in 1999. The settlement under it was in big danger, and the people have to leave the houses. But it stopped and they came back. You see the prehistoric mining on the top of the mountain, dating back to 1250 before Christus. Some nice minerals there, but extremely dangerous, and because of the rock slide, also forbidden. Malachite and azurite is everywhere. More rare is strachymierite, and thysite is not too rare too. The Falkenstein mountain is also the type locality of Tirolite. Zinc olivinite, yellow-green with blue-green thysite. We are going back to the next settlement, the small village of St. Getraudi. In St. Getraudi we had mining until 1969. Then it stopped in the whole area. This was the last mine. Mining buildings are still there. Even the old locomotives. And St. Getraudi is very famous for the schwarzite. But the real thing is the schwarzite from St. Getraudi has nearly no mercury. So it's more or less a poor tetrahydrite. The name Schwarzite is mostly used, but it's wrong. Sorry to say so. Crystals are not too big, but pretty. A rarity are fine crystals of chalcostibite and farmatinite. Small but beautiful, I think. Also calcite was found. Strontianite, nice aggregate, yellowish. But most famous, St. Gertrudi is for azurite. Sample from Vienna and my own things. Dolomite dusted with tiny azurite crystals. I love this material. Colorful, pretty, aesthetic, I would say. Malachite, of course, too. Antizit is not rare here. No malachite on this sample, only tizit. Aragonite is common in the old mines from the Middle Ages. Colored by copper, of course. Very pretty, I think. And typical barite, dusted with tiny azurites, and sometimes also malachite. Divilite on calcite, small thing, and small but very pretty azurites from an old mine from Middle Ages. I love it. Perfect calcite crystal with some azurite on it. Very beautiful. Now for me the most important locality is Brixlegg, a small town with a smelter. From the smelter is this arsenalite. The crystals are several millimeters big. Big crystals for arsenalite, so this thing might be around 7 centimeters or so. Some brass on slag. When it was found, the people thought it was gold and sold it for good money. But short time ago it was cleared brass only. Copper crystals from the slag and spinel too. So we came to the first mining dumps in Brixlegg, the small Gilgenstollen dump. Not too many minerals, but they're pretty, I think. Tyrolite is typical. Olivenite. Very nice erythrite. And the mining area in Silver Mountain Mining District. The next localities are in the forest to the right. 50 meters is Fuchsloch to the right, and after 200 meters, we have the next locality to the left. Old piece with calcite. Love the old label. Mining building, today farming house, but for work only, no one is living here. Yeah, our friend André Bestemans in Fuchsloch, he joined me last September. Was very nice to be with him. The old hammer and chisel work in Fuchsloch from medieval age. It is rare to find some silver. Silver curls like this. A big treasure here. Small treasure, better said. Archantite, other silver mineral. Cupar adamite is not too rare. The yellow thing is goethite only. Arsenidesglycite with dolomite. Auricalcite, small but nice, and also some bardonite. Cerussite is more common. In the whole mining district, it is rare to find lead minerals, but here in Fuchsloch we have them, not on the other localities. Konicalcite and malachite. Mimetisite, and very rare here for the mining district, wolfenite. The only one that I found. Stocker Edit is one of the most popular places here, or better said, it was. This is a photo from 4 years ago. It was easy to reach, and the locality was very nice for collecting, easy to collect. In short time, my bag was full. But last year, the farmer had destroyed all. He recultivated it. It is full of plants and earth and nothing to find. Actually, it is not possible to collect here. Sorry to say so. So I have older samples, own finds of course. Extremely nice erythrite, famous for it, the place. In the Middle Ages, it was also a place where cobalt was mined, not only silver. Very colorful with azurite. And typically with tangdanite. Tangdanite here is more common than tyrolite. Cuproramide, not too lovely, but also not rare, typical for here. Tyrolite, of course, too. but I prefer the Tangdanite from here. More common and more pretty than Tyrolite. A big rarity and unusual mineral, euconite, the brown balls here and there. Specialty here. Also Richelstorfite, but Richelstorfite is a little bit more common than the euconite. Small crystals, but really nice and pretty. Famous locality is Mockleiten. Here is the house of the owner. Nice guy. You must ask him if you want to collect. And the locality is famous for this type of malachite, the curly malachite. I treat it like a treasure. Own box, of course. Very soft. I absolutely love it. Also bigger pieces, not too small, 12 centimeters all in all. Yeah, and of course bigger than 15 millimeters only, the field of view. I think for this type it might be the best locality in the world. An extremely rich sample. But I know there are better ones in the collection of Tyrolean friends. Some malachite together with azurite and normal malachite, just like we know it from other places. What is funny here is the malachite and calcite. You see here the calcite crystal full dusted with malachite inside, and the crystals nearby have nothing. It looks like a pseudomorphose. I really find it funny. Clear calcite crystals, and only one crystal is dusted with malachite in it. For me, it looks like a hornet. I always have a grin on my face when I see it. Azurite flowers. The quality is incredible. Andre Besteman here to a very small dump here in Maukenut. I only found a fistful of rocks, not more. Andre took nothing. He was disappointed. Same here. But at home I found out the few rocks that I collect has been full of interesting micromounts. Bravoite, claroite, with some azurite, of course, rosacite, and tyrolite too. Tangdanite, and this only from a handful of rocks. If I come here, I must dig. We are only 2 kilometers from the last place, Holzalm house. You can eat here, you can sleep here. Very nice in the mountains. And only a few minutes from this house is the famous Gratelspitz. Gratelspitz is not easy to collect, very steep, but rich in minerals. I think all in all we have in the mining district around 160 different minerals. I think even more. An old hammerstone from Middle Ages. And also some description. The first mining took place in 1406. The mines are several kilometers long, and the tunnels, of course. First settlement in the Stone Age. One mine added. As mentioned before, the mines are big. Not my photo, but you can see how big the mine is. Decorative material too. Sun and polished. Theodolite is common here. Also azurite. Some chlorite too. Chlorite is not too rare in the whole district. Olivenite is typical and different shapes. Antlerite is a rarity. Nice crystals, but small. And of course, brochantite. Some cornwallite too. Rounded as usual. And wonderful small crystals of clinoclase. Very nice. Devilite too. Bright colored potolakite. Not too pretty, but rare enough for mention it. Langite is typical. And also Bosniakite and Revolfate too. A new rarity, Leogangite. Strashimirite is not too rare in the locality in Gratelspitz. Small needles. And from another spot on Gratelspitz, we also have with erythrite. Extremely cute, I would say. The view to the other mountain, but still Gratelspitz. So the district on Gratelspitz is Long District. We come to an end. Vorderher Sommerau is full with chlorite, the most common mineral here. Normal it's a rarity, but not here. On weißer Schroven, we have the rare mineral sabelliite. And also chlorite. And I think we come to an end. And the last photo is a typical transportation car in the mining district on Silver Mountain. Cube first. But now we have the last transportation and the presentation is over. Thank you all for it. Filmed by Andre Besterman.
Very good.
Excellent. Well done.
Very good.
Nice, Gerhard.
Any questions?
Do you want to stop share?
Sorry?
Stop sharing your screen.
Okay.
I gotta stop it, yeah.
Yep.
No, we still got it. That's better.
Yeah.
That's better.
Okay, yeah.
Very good.
It was excellent. Thank you,
It
Gerhard.
was wonderful.
Never
Thank
been
you.
near that
Thank you.
place. It's very good. Never been near it.
Okay.
Yeah, very good.
Wonderful.
Lovely minerals.
I tried to do my best.
I have
Very
a
good. Very good.
look up.
Very, very good job. I love the erythrites.
The
Yeah,
combination of erythrite and azurite is
Yeah.
beautiful.
Combination is great.
yeah. Yeah, such clear photos.
Yeah, and I didn't know if you mentioned the width of the pictures. Sometimes it was 1.95 millimeters, so really, really close.
Oh, yeah.
Wow.
What high magnification lens to get them, I think.
Yeah, yeah. I think either.
So, do we have any questions?
Oh,
No
I have one.
questions?
Pretty.
I have one. Gerhard, are all of these places still available for a visit if you ask the owners of the land nicely?
Of course you have to ask, but most of the people are nice. I met the owner of the erythrite locality. He even told me where to find it. He's also the owner of the Fuchsloch mine where Andre Bestemann has been with his face. And we had to talk with the farmer in Mockleiten with the curly malachite. Last year it was not possible to collect because it was too dangerous with fallen trees from a storm. But in other years, no big problem, and he allows it.
Oh, cool.
The only problem is the rock slide on Falkenstein. It is extremely dangerous and steep and nearly impossible to collect and totally forbidden to enter it. I also would not recommend it.
No.
Mm,
Okay.
very
Thanks.
good.
But if you're in Falkenstein and you try to collect minerals, have a look out for old mining tools. If you're lucky, you find something too.
Cool.
Okay. Any other questions? No. Gerhard, thank you very much again. I'm glad to see you're up
Very
and
good,
about,
yeah.
which is good. And if there's no other questions, we'll finish up and wait for Henk for his next session in 4 weeks' time or so.
I think
Right.
he's still traveling across the states somewhere. He's still on
He
Route
is.
66.
Yeah, he must be.
He's in
Yeah.
California now. Oh,
He must be
California
close to
now,
the
is he?
end.
Yeah.
Hmm.
It sounds like he's having a good time.
San Bernardino.
Right. Okay.
All right. Thank you, everybody,
Okay.
for joining, and we'll see you.
See you next month
soon.
then. Yeah.
Yep.
yeah.
Bye-bye.
See you.
you.
It's
Cheerio.
great.